opened for business September 1, 1945. The population in Newport was about 7,000. Again, this set up the whole game plan
Right.
of how Walmart, Sam Walton, but then later Walmart conducts business. The store was on Front Street, the main commercial strip. This is where he built a winner. He immediately began experimenting, buying merchandise directly from manufacturers, bypassing the Ben Franklin approved suppliers to get lower prices. Pioneered self-service displays in his variety store.
We should talk about that too.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, keep going. Sorry.
Extended. Then I'm gonna rattle off a few things, then we'll get into
Yeah.
it. So then extended store hours beyond what competitors offered. Studied everything. Read trade publications. Attended retail conventions. Drove hundreds of miles to visit other stores and steal ideas. Within a few years, he had built the store into the #1 Ben Franklin franchise in a 6-state region. By 1950, $250,000 in annual sales, $30,000 to $40,000 in profit. Record numbers for the franchise. So
Yeah.
let's get into it.
Just like laying the groundwork for what a Ben Franklin store might look like when Sam Walton started. You've got a basic general store. In those times, a general store would have a clerk behind the desk where you would say, hey, I want a gallon of milk, I want a bag of rice, and I want a banana. They would then turn around like a bar, grab it from the shelf, put it on the counter, and say, okay, now you're going to check out with me. It was a very slow and monotonous task, right? Because it wasn't the kind of super center shopping that we have today.
Yeah.
Where you have to, do the legwork yourself. It was very much a controlled environment. So that was one. Another thing was all the Ben Franklin stores that were franchises. We have franchisees today, right? But they had a contract with, what was it, Butler Boys or something like that. Ben Franklin has a supplier.
Yeah.
So all the franchise stores are supposed to buy from the supplier. This is obviously done to benefit the Ben Franklin company because the suppliers are adding a 25% increase for profit on every single supply that they sell. And so Sam would actually find manufacturers that are outside of that distributor to buy product from at a cheaper rate and not cut into that 25% profit that Ben Franklin was taking on every single order. So that was another way that he was able to increase these profits. I believe when he took over the store, it was around $80,000 a year. And then
I think it was
that's when he started. Then he jumped it to $250,000 a year with almost half of what it originally made in profit.
Yeah.
The 30 or 40 grand in profit was half of what they made all year in the previous year.
Oh yeah, so he was a superstar there.
Like, he was killing it.
Yeah.
This was a problem for some of the Ben Franklin company because he was skirting around that 25% profit, which cut into their profits.
Yeah.
And so they didn't punish him right away because he was the most successful store in the tri-state area.
Yeah.
And so that's something else to kind of look at. I mean, the longer hours is great. Studying other stores, absolutely. But also, like, he was so successful, it kind of put a target on his back.
Yeah, I mean, that kind of happens when you take the lead. I mean, everybody can see you in front.
Yes.
And you're going to have that target on your back. He also was really, really good about creating spectacles to bring people into the stores. I'm not sure if it was at this time at JCPenney or if it was at the Ben Franklin stores, but he would set up these different like popcorn stands
at the front of the store.
To bring people into the store.
Yep.
And he realized, oh, I can bring people in by other means outside of just lower prices, or we have this and this and this available.
Right.
So it was a very applied time for him, where he was experimenting, trying different things out, and seeing the results of that.
Yeah, I know one of the biggest experiments that he was doing was, what should my profit margins be? If I can sell something that I bought for $1, right, for $1.05 or $1.10, because everybody else is going to sell it for $1.10. If I sell it for $1.05, I will cut my profit by 5 cents, but maybe I'll sell 3 more cans. And so total, I'll actually have 15 cents versus just the 10 I would have for selling just one.
Yeah, and so it becomes the low-cost strategy is very much a volume strategy.
Yes, volume.
Yeah. So that was a really interesting time there, and again, the self-service one is is again another thing that's incredibly interesting because we take that for granted right now.
Yes.
We look at it as just how stores are set up.
Yes.
But that's not the case.
And I don't remember where it was. Was it Brazil that they started doing that and he flew down, or was it another? I think it might have been another state in the union.
And that might have been it. I don't know that.
Or I think
where they did the self-service stuff.
Yeah, they were experimenting with self-service. I think it was in the States, and he took like a 10-hour bus ride just to go check it out. He was like, "This could be the future.
Yeah,
I need to get on that before anybody else." And then started incorporating into these stores where, you would be able to go get the produce and go get the items yourself, and then come to the checkout counter, like we normally see today.
Yeah, it's so strange how you can introduce an innovation like that, or at least extended innovation like that, and then it can just become commonplace, and now we just forget how things were previously.
The reason I like to call this one out is because I think it flies anti to what we're going to talk about in about 10 minutes. I don't know if doing that is actually for the best for the customer. I don't know if me walking around your store, picking out my own things, and having to carry all that is actually better for my experience. Better for the profits, and so maybe better for me. But if I was in a world where you did it before, and now I have to do it, I wouldn't feel the same way.
Well, we're seeing a little bit of it now where it's self-checkout.
Yes, exactly.
Is that
well, not just self-checkout. We have things where they have shoppers that will shop for you, and then you'll get the stuff delivered.
Yeah.
It's like these things where they're bringing that convenience back. I can imagine a time in the 40s where the clerk was the convenience. I don't have to lug around a shopping cart. I don't have to, do all these things that now you're asking me to do as a shopper. It's very interesting because I think in about 10 minutes we're talking about how far Sam is willing to go for the customer.
Yeah. Okay. So about 1950, he's still at this Ben Franklin.
Yeah, let's talk about this.
And, when Sam Walton signed the original lease in 1945, he was about 27, and he was like, "I'm just trying to get right to it."
Yep.
And he missed the part where there was no renewal clause, and he had agreed to give the landlord 5% of sales.
Yep.
Now, the landlord, PK Homes, watched him build this, and he was like, "Okay, I'm getting 5%. I can basically back into what he's making right now."
Yeah.
And so when it came time to renew, he said, "I'm not going to renew. I think I'm going to give this
to my son."
Yeah, I'm going to give this over to my son. And there was nothing that Sam Walton could do about it.
Right.
And so he said, "It was the lowest point of my business life. I felt sick to my stomach. I couldn't believe it was happening to me. It was really like a nightmare. I had built the best variety store in the whole region and worked hard in the community, done everything right, and now I was being kicked out of town. It didn't seem fair. I blamed myself for ever getting into such a delicate situation." But he said, "I'd never been one to dwell on reverses and didn't do so then, but it was a bitter experience. I had to pick myself up and get on with it, do it all over again, only better this time."
What's your take on that?
I mean, at the end of the day, like, I say he got played, and he kind of did get played, but it wasn't like he was a complete loser in the situation.
He did sell the store, so like
he sold a lot, and he sold a lot of inventory at a loss too.
Right.
And so it wasn't like he got away, complete scot-free, but he also didn't come away a complete loser. So
yeah,
my take on it is, like, it was a non-optimal situation that he learned from.
Yeah.
It wasn't ideal. I don't think it's as easy as starting up a new online store. And I do think that there's a lot of power in having the thing already set up and having a customer base that's coming in and that you don't have to rebuild. But he learned so many different tricks that he got to go and test it by rebuilding, and that's where the benefit comes from.
I don't think that the son would have been able to be as successful as Sam, and he clearly wasn't.
Yeah.
I think it's pretty crappy of the landlord to do that. It is a contract, and so it's like, know your contract, but it's also, I'm curious the kind of like public backlash, if any, happened. Because it's a very close-knit community. I mean, this isn't the big city like we have today. This is, people know each other.
Yeah.
And being forced out of a small town like that, and everyone kind of knows your business, I don't know, it kind of feels like you're kind of setting yourself up for failure if you're kicking out the the breadwinner of the town, essentially. It seems a little weird.
I mean, to me, it's probably, I'm assuming it was under new management. People were like, oh, that Sam Walton
Did great here. Yeah,
great
yeah.
here, but now he's out. And
Right,
then
right.
and then they go and buy the stuff anyway.
Right. Yeah, it's very interesting.
Because they got to watch him and basically see what he changed, what he did differently,
Yeah.
and just keep the systems in place.